We're now joined by Professor Todd Clear of the School of Criminal Justice at Rutgers University-Newark. Good to see you, Doctor.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
You are one of the top experts in this country when it comes to the issue of criminal justice and the question of the challenge of police-minority relations. You're joining us for this conversation here in Newark, New Jersey, on this question. Why is it so difficult for so many to have an honest dialogue about police-minority relations?
I think it's because there's a lot of mythology about the problems of crime in places like Newark. There's a lot of belief that the solutions should be simple. People should be able to get this stuff worked out very quickly. And I think we have such a long history of exclusion and lack of investment in cities, disinvestment in cities, that it makes it very hard for a place like Newark to achieve the destiny that it could, and then it creates strains between the law enforcement authorities and the people in the community. Those strains then get played out as political ideas, as people want to use them for benefit, running for office or trying to make a point or trying to get some funding for this, that, or the other thing. And for the people who live in the middle of that, the police officers and the residents of Newark, all of those things going on outside are not solutions to make it so that Newark is a safer place where people can live and raise their kids.
You did some work in the South Ward of Newark, which is a big piece of this city, one of the largest wards. Tell folks what you found and why is it relevant to the folks in the tri-state area watching us?
So crime in Newark, violent crime in Newark concentrates in a very small number of locations. It concentrates among a small number of people. What that means is that this idea that Newark is I don't know, people say war zone, is just simply not true. We learned when we looked at the data, for example, that when you look at individual street segments in the city of Newark, every year at least 80% and sometimes as many as 90% don't experience a single crime. The concentration is so much that 4% of the residents of the city of Newark are estimated to be involved in 60% of the shootings. So, and in terms of location, places like South Ward and the West Ward have much higher rates of shootings and homicides than other parts of the city. Parts of the city of Newark are as safe as anywhere else in the nation. So what that means is that if you want to do something about public safety in the city of Newark and you're focusing on guns and on homicides, the focus can be very much on a small set of people, a small set of locations, and a particular set of problems. 2/3 of the shootings in Newark are related to disputes. And if you can make it so that disputes end in another way or don't call for guns to be used, then you can really create a foundation of safety in the city of Newark that will last for a while.
Professor, let me ask you this. What is it that you see about the way the police department in Newark operates? Right now, there is a federal monitor. Peter Harvey, the former Attorney General of the state of New Jersey, is here representing the federal government, overseeing the Newark Police Department. What is it that you see that causes so many who we're talking to today? Listen, it took a long time for that to happen and the federal government to come in and, if you will, oversee the police department. But what do you think it is that causes so many who we're talking to today in this forum here in Newark to be so positive about the way the police in Newark interact with the community and why Newark has not had, I don't want to jinx anything, horrific incidents, as many as other cities involving police in the minority community?
Well, first of all, I think we're pretty lucky to have...
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Sure.
I asked some of your colleagues if we were lucky. They said it has nothing to do with luck.
Well, we're lucky to have leadership that makes this a very high priority, both in the public safety side and among the elected
You mean with Mayor
officials.
Baraka?
The mayor and the police director, Ambrose, I think recognize how important it is to bridge this gap that has existed between the community and the police. The findings that led to the consent decree are pretty disturbing about routine patterns of behavior of the police in regard to the citizens. And we have to understand that Newark is not just one group of residents. There's multiple citizens here. There are people who come here for arts and for athletic events. There are 40,000 students, many of whom come in and go home in the day. There are people who live here, and there are people who work here. And so each of those communities has a different set of experiences with the police. And again, the problematic experiences were concentrated among a very small number in particular locations. And in those places, through really strong leadership and policies that can that are implemented and then monitored, you can change the nature of the relationship between the citizens and the police.
Thank you so much, Professor.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.
New Jersey Capitol Report is a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET. Funding for this edition of New Jersey Capitol Report has been provided by the Northward Center, PSE&G, NJIT, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the law firm of GIBBONS PC, Johnson & Johnson, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey,